Spring is here. Spring is here. Life is Skittles and life is beer. I think the loveliest time of the year is the spring. I do, don't you? Of course you do. Spring is sprung down here in the holler, and we're here to talk about the vernal equinox, where the day and night are of equal length and everything's about balance. I'm Catherine Reeder. Welcome to the Modern Pagan. Hey there, fellow pagans. I'm here today to talk to you about the vernal equinox, or the spring equinox, which usually falls between the 20th and the 22nd of March. But this year was kind of an anomaly. It fell on the 19th of March, which it hasn't done that since 1896. It hasn't done that in 124 years. So that was kind of cool. And the vernal equinox isn't like Imbolc, where it has to be celebrated on a certain day, right? Like I said, between the 20th and the 22nd, or the 19th. But like Imbolc, the vernal equinox has to be a season. It's the spring season. And it can be celebrated all the rest of March, all the way through April. And its theme, when you talk about an equinox, either the vernal equinox or the autumn equinox, the theme's balance. And balance is really interesting. Balance in life is really interesting because a lot of us, well, all of us, never achieve complete balance, but it's always something to strive for. So when I talk about balance, the way to identify what may or may not be out of balance in your life is when you think of something, a topic, a subject, whatever, in your life, and you feel angry about it, or you feel resentful towards it. That's a really good indication that your life in that aspect is out of balance. So if you think of a topic and if it throbs like a sore tooth when you think about it, that's a pretty good indication that that aspect of your life is out of balance. And a way to bring more balance into that aspect is to set boundaries. And of course, boundaries are really difficult because they have to be very firm for them to accomplish their goal. You have to draw a line in the sand, and you can't cross that line in the sand, and you cannot allow whatever it is that you're setting the boundary with to cross that line either. So that's how you achieve more balance in your life. Setting boundaries is just one of the best ways to really do that. So that's an interesting way to celebrate the vernal equinox, but there are a lot of other ways that aren't nearly as difficult and aren't nearly as painstaking and time-consuming. One of the ways is to all those plans that you made at Imbolc, this is the time that you get outside and you actually get to work on them. For Imbolc, some of the projects that I set for myself were trying to get cleaned up I have piles. There are piles in our yard that absolutely have to be addressed because I can see them from the windows in our house all the time. So that's my first big one. I need to start my seeds for the garden. This is an excellent time to starting seeds. Whatever it is, flowers, veg, herbs, whatever it is that you choose, go ahead and get those started. Clean up your garden, get outside, clean up your garden, start thinking about where things go. Think about like where you get the most light in your garden and plant crops there that need the most sun. If you have a lot of shaded spots like we do down here in the holler, we deal with a lot of shade-loving plants. If gardening's not your thing, just make sure that for the vernal equinox to get out and spend a whole day outside. The days are getting warmer, the sun's getting brighter, the days are longer. So now there's just more time to spend outside, and it feels so good to be able to get outside. So go for a hike. Go for a hike, even go for a drive. Just spend a whole day outside soaking up the sun. One of the ways to celebrate the vernal equinox is to have a feast, of course. So for the vernal equinox, we made some pork, which is always a very springtime meat. Some lovely tenderloin from our local Amish store that was absolutely delicious. We made a salad. That's something that certainly a seasonal food that is always easy to get around, easy and cheap to get around this time of year. We have some in our greenhouse. We've been growing some spring greens in our greenhouse, and they've been so tasty. The arugula is so spicy. The smell of it, the taste of it is absolutely delicious. We've grown some of the biggest spinach I think I've ever seen. So we made a nice spring salad. That was amazing. I made a carrot cake. Carrots are in season about this time of year, along with radishes, carrots, spring greens. That's all that's coming to me right at the moment. But those sorts of things are all in season right now. So I made a carrot cake, which I also took a video of. So I'll be posting that later on. Oh, and eggs. We are absolutely, between the ducks and the chickens, we are covered up in eggs down here in the holler. So I made some deviled eggs. I always put my own little particular spin on deviled eggs. So I made a video about that as well. So that'll be dropping sometime in the coming weeks. So I hope you have a great spring equinox. Well, I hope you had a great spring equinox. I'm so excited for this season, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.